12 students recently took part in Venever, one of CB's most well-known trips. This specific one was called El Otro, meaning the other side. While on this journey, students gained a deeper insight on the life of an immigrant. Going into this trip, many of the students had their own opinions, but all were curious as to what they would learn and how it would affect them for the rest of their lives.
Going on, I really wanted to get a hands-on experience and not just read articles and see what's on social media and what people say.
Put the humanity to it by finding the belongings, not thinking of it as a government issue, but as these are real people trying to find a better life.
Go in and get a sort of clairvoyant perception of everything instead of listening to media bias and all that.
I was hoping to get a new perspective, one without a filter, filtered by the media, and I sort of wanted to learn more about the Mexican immigration because my great-grandmother immigrated from Mexico.
To kind of get my own hands-on experience with it and talk to migrants who've experienced it and kind of see the humane part of it and kind of get the experience from them.
Going into the trip, I just wanted to keep an open mind because I wanted to learn about the immigration issue, and I know it's very complicated, and I just wanted to start making my opinions on the issue.
I was trying to get a different perspective without the media's views and to just go there and talk to the people and be able to gain my own insights.
Having experienced what they did and having seen what they saw, each student has a wide array of emotions that they are feeling. From the sadness of seeing the grave of an unknown adolescent to the feeling of hope for a better life and the joy of being able to share their knowledge of what is happening on the other side.
I realized that all these everyday problems that I used to worry about, they're just not as important to me because there are people down by the border struggling every day just to survive and to try to get into the United States.
It made me realize how grateful I was for everything, and it hit me the day I came back, we have all this stuff and we all take it for granted.
So this whole trip was very emotionally draining. When he came back, I was a lot more appreciative.
We just worry about these super simple things, and when there's so many more extravagant problems that need to be solved, instead of just, yeah, what am I gonna have for dinner? These people are all thinking, when am I gonna get caught? Am I gonna get caught?
It just made me want to tell people just all about it, just at any chance I had, just share a story about Venever and just what I saw and what I learned.
I've always had a really strong opinion about immigration, but after I went on this trip, my opinion of immigration became a lot stronger, and I gained the information I needed to do something about the cause and to actually, do something to help the migrants instead of just saying oh, I'm very strong about immigration, but never doing anything to help them.
Students gained a new perspective on not only immigration, but the rest of the world as well. Mr. Delgado, one of the Venever moderators, gives us an insight on the nightly reflections the students participated in and how this newly gained perspective changed them throughout the week.
The students began to see each other having an emotional side, a very real side, and one of the things about the reflections is that they tended to be very raw. A couple students broke down. Many of us had emotional responses, gut level responses to some of the questions and some of the answers. And again, I think that changes the perspective we have on the experience. It changes the perspective students have about each other. As the week went on, there's a perspective shift, and when everybody experiences the same thing at about the same time, and you get a chance to process that through reflection, I think it changes everybody a little bit, and you begin to see that there's more similarity between you than differences.
Imagine, if you will, 12 students who had the extraordinary opportunity to become aware of what happens on the other side. After a week of building a close bond with each other as a group, they come home and individually go through all the emotional ups and downs and take time to process what they witnessed. In the end, each kid wakes up knowing that they are a changed person for the better. Just like the sign outside of our school says, "Enter to learn, leave to serve." These 12 students and their life-changing experience will definitely have an impact on the world to come. This has been Jack Noonan reporting for KBFT, Sacramento.